Welcome to TC Digital Learning. Myself Suguna SN, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Commerce in GFGC and PG Center, Chintamani. Now I am discussing session 56 of Organizational Behavior. So this is the last session of this subject, so which is for second semester BBA. And here the topic taken for the discussion is revisional session. So of previous year question paper, that is 2019 paper I have taken. So that is about the leadership styles. So based on this concept, they are asked for 14 marks question in 2019. So let us so this is the question they asked in the question paper, that is explain in detail the various types of leadership styles. So before going with the styles, we should know the meaning and the definitions of leadership. So firstly, let us start with the meaning. So leadership provides a direction, guidance and confidence to the employees and helps in the attainment of goals in a such easier way. Leadership nothing but the various qualities of a leader which he inculcate within his or her, and that leadership qualities is going to have the influence on the subordinates. So that qualities may be having a very good guide by showing a very good directions and building up confidence levels and supporting and helping in various manner for the attainment of goals in the easiest way. So these are the various skills or qualities every leader must have. So leader nothing but who leads the team, who leads the others, who makes to follow and go further for the achievements. So it is a whole process of leading a team or leading other followers is called the leadership. So here the managers play the role of leader and acquire a leadership of subordinates, their efforts towards the achievement of organizational goals and activate the individuals of an organization to make them work. So here the manager or who are maybe with the leadership qualities and they passionate towards the leader, they can become the leaders. So these they have to acquire the subordinates are called co-members, are the members for the leading towards the achievement or the attainment of the goals. By those active members are the followers, we can call it as. So those they're going to perform in a better way and they will go in a directions which shown by the leader and makes them to accomplish their task in timely and the right timely. So this is about the meaning of leadership. So let us have next discussion, that is definition of leadership. According to Wendell French, so he defined leadership as the process of influencing the behavior of others in the direction of a goal or set of a goals or more broadly toward a vision of the future. So he defined here a leadership as a process of influencing. So as I said, a leader must have a certain qualities and the skills. So in that influencing or making a motivation of the various individuals plays a major role. So he must know how to make them to influence for the betterment in their behaviors. And they have to show the directions and the guidelines for the achievement of the goal. For that he has to set a goal, so he has to set some of the standards and you have to see the vision of the future. Vision nothing but the overall view in the future, where we want to be, what we have to be achieve in the future of the coming days. With all this vision of future, he has to set and he has to direct all the subordinates or the members towards the attainment of the goal or reaching of that vision of the organization. So another definition I have taken here, according to Keith Davis, he defined in a simple way, leadership is the process of encouraging and helping others to work enthusiastically towards the objectives. In simple words, he defined that it is a process of encouraging, influencing, helping and motivating others. So we are not saying a leader has to do, like a leader is working, so no, he has to extract the work so from the others by having showing his interpersonal skills, like a motivating, influencing, encouraging, helping, supporting, directing, guiding, like this. So and make them to work in an enthusiastic manner, enthusiastic way. In that enthusiastic manner, you have to encourage them towards the objectives. So this is a skill of a leader. So that a skill of leading a group or a members, its process is called leadership. So features of definition leadership we are discussing it here after the definition. Leadership is a process of influencing the behavior of individuals in an organization. We are discussing even from the meaning also. So, and leadership directs the individuals to attain the task assigned to them. So here they are influencing, directing, guiding, mentoring them where to go, how to do. So what are all the things you have to inculcate, you have to change the behaviors, you have to make your behavior in a desirable manner. So in all this perspective, a leader or a leadership styles must do exist. So leadership is a continuous process of influencing a behavior. So we can't say it will be like a one-time action or a one-time thing. So it will be in a continuous mode. It has to be like where and when there is a need of influencing, need of motivating, it has to be done by that leader. So it encourages liveliness in the group. So liveliness, nothing but enthusiastically, actively make them to active with the work, with the group or within the group, and make them to active with their work and the responsibility. This is the main intention of every leader in his leadership's time or leadership period. So this is about the features of leadership. Let us have a discussion of various types of leaderships. Here I have taken the 6 various types of leaderships for the discussion. First one is autocratic or authoritarian. So second one is a democratic, or it is also called participative leadership. And third one is a laissez-faire or free rein type of leadership. Next one, expert leadership, manipulative leadership, and bureaucratic leadership. Let us have one by one discussion here. The first one is taken for the discussion is autocratic or authoritarian style of leadership. So autocratic, nothing but is very strict. Autocratic, nothing but very rigid, strict, and like a Hitler. So there is a complete centralization of authority in the leader. That is, authority is centered in the leader himself. Authority, nothing but the power, rights, or the any action or any like a decision making process, whatever it may be, all the authorities or the power or the rights which will be held by, which will be like centered in the hands of the leader. So he will never going to give the chance to any subordinate in the group or in the organization. He is called centralized authoritarian or autocratic leader. He has all the powers to make the decision. So he only judge what is right, what is wrong, what others has to do. So it is like a boss oriented or a leader oriented style of leadership. So all other subordinates or the members, they have to orient towards the leader, that is autocratic leader, and he wants to immediate obedience of his orders and the instructions. So he expect that every co-member or the members of that group must listen, must be obedient, and must be obey with all his orders or the instructions. He never expect any objections or the opposition on his words. So this is how autocratic leader going to play his role in the group. And any negligence in the part of subordinate result will be punishment. So as I said, he must be like obey with all his order and the instructions. There is no chance for the opposition. if there is any such negligence or opposition, definitely those subordinates will have the punishment in the way of monetary reducing of their monetary benefits, by giving more targets, negative consequence, and the even positive consequences also he going to put here. And there is no participation from the subordinates in decision making. This is another form. All the powers which will be like a decision making power in the hands of the leader itself, he never give any chance of sharing of opinion, the ideas, suggestions to the participants or any other members of that group. He only takes all the decision, so no suggestion will be considerable. A leader thinks that he is the only competent person in the organization. He feels and he thinks that he has the thought that I am the right. So what I am taking, it is correct. He never going to listen. He never going to take the suggestions or the observations from the others. So he think that he is only competent person in the organization. This is how autocratic leader, so he going to follow his style of leaderships in a group or in an organization. This is first one. Second one, it is democratic or participative leadership. This is just opposite of autocratic. Democratic, nothing but by the people, for the people, so like of the people. So it is also known as group-centered or consultative leadership. So democratic or participative, in the word participative only, it defines that every subordinates will be consulted, and those subordinates can share their information or the knowledge or the opinions like that. So in this style of leadership, leader consult their group and consider their opinion in decision making process. So there is no centralized authority of any a decision making or any actions in the hands of the leader. He give a lot of freeness, liberty even to the subordinates to express their viewpoints about any decisions. And participation or involvement of the employees in the decision making process is also rewarded. So here the leader going to give a chance and the opportunity for involvement by the employees. So we must give that chance, because every individual, they will have their own talents of understanding and thought provoking and thinking capacity. Even they can give better ideas or better decisions. So that's why you have to make them to involve here. And the exchange of ideas among subordinates, and where the leader is given encouragement. So as we are discussing that one in the above point itself, it develops a sense of confidence among the subordinates, and they derive from that confidence level, they're going to satisfy their job itself. So it is again possible by having a participative form of a leadership style. So it gives a confidence level, it gives a sense of confidence and a sense of job satisfaction by the every individuals in the participative type of leadership group. So, and it improves the quality of decision as it is taken after due consideration of valued opinions of the talented group members. So as that this point I said before only, that every individual has their own talents, they can express their viewpoints, in the sense their viewpoint also may be a positive decision for our group performances. It has even the impact on the positive way. So that's why qualitative decisions can be taken in this type of leadership, that is democratic and participative type of leadership. Next one is a laissez-faire or free rein type of leadership. In this type of leadership, there is a virtual absence of direct leadership. It is therefore known as no leadership at all. So virtually there will be a no a physical existence of a leader. So directly there is no leadership. So that's why it's called no leadership at all. So there is a complete delegation of authority to subordinate, so that they can make decision by themselves. We are not saying there is a one person who observes you, who directs you like that. So here all the subordinates will be delegated with authority, and even they can come up with the decisions also. So free line leadership may be effective if the members of the group are highly committed to their work. So this delegation of authority are freely giving authority to like a living of all the activities to every powers to subordinates. It's only when possible, in the sense when they have highly committed or matured committed workers or committed members in your group. Otherwise it leads to a lot of drawbacks to your group and even to the organization. The negative aspect shows that leader is not competent enough to lead his group effectively. So here there is no leadership at all. There is no leader we are identifying. Every member in that group has equal authority and equal chance of taking decisions. So this is what the concept of laissez-faire or free lane style of leadership. So that's why there will be no competent enough. So every individual have their own competent level. So we can't say that there is a high competitive or competent person in the group. So members may feel insecure and develop frustration for lack of decision making authority. So these are the negative sides of free reign type of a leadership. Even positive way, that every authority a delegation of authority for decision making will be in the hands of other subordinates. They can make timely decisions when there is a need. They can't even wait for the there no need to wait for the leader to accept and approve that. So that will be positive. And negative, so lot of frustrations will develop because everyone become the boss there, everyone become the leader there. So they will feel like a favorism or biased like that. So and lack of motivation, and the authority can be personally can be taken or targeted also, which happens in this free line style of leadership. So some extent we have to give the authority, and some extent it has to be controlled enough. Then only we can get the effectiveness in this free line type of leadership. Next one is a bureaucratic. So this type of leadership emphasizes the rules and regulations of an organization. The behavior of a leader is determined by the rules, regulations, and the procedures to be followed under his leadership. So here bureaucratic nothing but, so the whole organization itself, they're going to frame the standards, rules, regulations. So these rules and regulations must be followed. Those procedures will be followed under this type of leaderships. The leader and the subordinates both follow these rules and regulations. Therefore, there is no difference between the management and the administration in this type of leadership. So it helps the leader to set common standards and the regulations, and even it helps the individual members also for following of the same rules, regulations, and the procedure for their performances or performing their activities. So that's why a lot of confusions, conflicts can be erased from this bureaucratic type of leadership. So next one, that is manipulative type of leadership. This type of leadership manipulates the employees to attain their assigned tasks. So here a manipulative leader is quite selfish and exploits the aspirations of the employees for his gains. So here manipulative nothing but he going to manipulate something. He going to have do some fake activities or a materialistic form of some of the benefits or the advantages for his personal gains. So he's quite selfish nothing but for his well-being. He going to utilize or exploits the other subordinates. So he will going to take the positive appreciations, and negatives or any negative aspects will be proposed on the other subordinates of the group. So this is how a manipulative leader going to follow some of the his skills or his type of leading a group. He knows very well the needs and desires of the employees, but he does very little to fulfill them. So because he is very selfish, so he wants to gain advantages rather than sharing those advantages to its members of the group. So even knowing all the desires of the employees, needs of the employees, he has to follow that actually to satisfy all those needs and desires, but he never do that. He fulfill only a few of the a little form of their needs and neglect. He shows a lot of negligence towards their employees, respect the like esteem needs, we can say that. And due to such attitude, he has to face a hatred of employees at all the times. So because of selfish attitude, selfishness, so most of are all the members of the group. So starting we can't like identify those selfishness and all. So by going and going, so we can easily identify what he is doing, whether he is towards the concern of the members of that group or not. So with this identity, we can directly hate that form of leader. So that will be a negative point to that leader, and he will lose his like other potential things for further performances also. That also becomes a negative to that manipulative form of a leader. So this is about a manipulative form of leadership. The next and the last one is expert leadership. The expert leadership emerged as a result of complex structure of a modern organization. So this type of leadership is based on the ability, knowledge and competencies of the leaders. So in the name only suggests that expert leadership means who has all the competencies, capabilities or abilities towards making a complex situation, a complex task to simple way or in a simple form. So that person will have this eligibility to become expert leader. He handles the situation skillfully with his talent. He is very talented, and he going to solve the various complex or hurdles of a particular period of time, the organizational problems. So with his talent and with his knowledge, and he has that skill to make or convert those complex into simple form. So with his expertise knowledge, with his highest qualities, he going to become the expert leader. And with his talent also, he will have that like high status maintained, and even the group members also will be benefited from his style of like potentials also, and these members also motivated from him, and they will going to concentrate on towards their achievement. The employees feel relieved as they are working under a person who is expert and can handle the situation without any problem. So here the individuals or the employees, they feel that we will not get any problem because our leader is very competent enough. If any problems, he has that ability to face and solve it. So this is what the confidence level which builds in the minds of the individuals or the members in that particular group. So here it's most of the problems of every individual is going to be solved, and those helps for the individuals to concentrate on their functioning, so which all together helps for the achievement of a betterment of organizational effectiveness and the efficiency. So this is about different types of leadership styles which will be there according to the purpose or existence of a complexity of a situation or the context. So they're going to follow. So are a combination of autocratic, democratic. So like a combination of different styles and the qualities also can be implemented in a leadership styles. So as a revision part, these are the different types of leadership styles which we are discussed. So here a leader is very important person who going to lead with those employees or the members of that group or a team. So you must have a different various qualities of the skills, like you must be influential or a motivator, guide. You must give a very good directions, the guidelines. He has to give the mentorship functions or mentorships to various members. So with all this, he has to move towards the employees for the achievement and the betterment of the that teamwork. So he has that power of influencing the various behaviors of the different types of individuals, the members in a group or a team. So these are the various leadership qualities by every individual they want to have, and combination of all these styles are the qualities also they're going to perform in a group. So they're going to lead a group. So this is about the discussion for the 14 marks question which is asked in the 2019 question paper. Hope you all understood with this concept. Thank you one and all.